Sorry about earlier when we was talking about televisions. Somebody called, and of course, I had to get off the game. I like doing my little podcast. Oh, still in my party. Okay. Now, back to what I was saying. If you hear the first video, I'm going to try to remember what I was saying. Oh, that's right. TV panels. Okay. So, the thing is, God, I have to go back and think about all of this. Oh, at the end of the day, it's about black levels and peak brightness no higher than 700 to 800 nits. With peak blackness being, well, dark blackness, but I say peak, right, like where it's completely black, as opposed to the color. The color comes out anyway. You don't have to increase to what they call a wider color gamut. If your black is so on point, the color is going to shine anyway. Okay? So, moving over into the other things about television price. They are going to have to come up with the ability one day to release OLED panels that are reliable, which is one, which is no burn-in, and two, cheaper prices. Now, I think the era of 32, 43, 40, and 45-inch televisions are over. The new small size will be 50. Because you can't get an OLED smaller than 50. That's one. Two, OLED TVs are going to be a difficult thing to move around. Most OLEDs use glass panels. That whole LG picture on wall frame thing, that shit's expensive. And again, those panels are not reliable. Not really. The thing I really was kind of hoping that people would try to do one day is to try to bring back plasma. But then again, with the fluidity and the smoothness of plasma, I kind of miss it. Being honest with you, I really miss plasma televisions. It was perfect how your TV would move. And now, you know, we're moving into a new era. They're talking about micro LED, laser LED, ULED, VLED. I don't know what this shit means. But they're moving to these different names of different panels. But regardless of all that, the only panel that looks next generation to me, and this is my opinion, and let me say again my opinion before anybody kind of cut my neck off. I just believe that the future of TV panels is OLED. It looks the best. It has the best movement. It has less trailing on the image. Now, this is where I'm going to talk about TV companies, and this is the most important thing. Because Sony has a hand in video games and movies. This is going to get over LG and over other manufacturers. Maker of movies and video games. And Sony's makes very pretty games. They make very pretty games. Horizon Zero Dawn is an amazing looking game. And plus it's very pretty to boot. Let me get ready to put my knife away. I want to just status. All right. So back to what I was saying. No, we're going to have to move to a different era in display technology. And I think the display technology that is the future is OLED. And I think when more manufacturers find a way how to make OLED panels, it will definitely be the definitive version of the television. The advantages of OLED are many. The disadvantages is the life of the panel. It doesn't have a long life to it, and that is the problem. If OLED is to become the definitive version to watch television, they're going to fix certain things. Burn-in, numero uno. Brightness, I don't think that's a necessity for the future of the panel. I think the future needs to be thinking about making those panels last. I think that's the most important thing. Making those panels last. Another thing that they will have to really go into, like I said earlier, is television price. Some of these TVs are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 grand. Nigga, it's the same price as a person's car. You didn't pay your rent for half a year for how much these televisions cost. And the TV manufacturers know this. Now, I'm not saying that it's not expensive to make different types of televisions. I'm not going to ever say that. I'd be lying and I'd be a goddamn fool if I say that, because I don't know. If they ability to get money, television types, the starting rate of high-end television needs to be $1,000. This fourth one in here. TCL, LG, Samsung. Listen to me. TCL, LG, Samsung, and Sony, in whatever order you want to put it, right? Why am I putting TCL in here? They have cheap panels. Cheap panels. And the panels, the picture them bitches put out, A1. Those pictures is amazing. And the TV is $600. $600+ and the TV's up there with something you pay $2 or $3 grand for. If the other TV manufacturers can't get on board and find a way to lower their prices, I'm gonna tell you right now, a bunch of TV manufacturers are gonna go out of business. Because these guys are coming with very pretty television sets with good picture quality, but not at a high price. These still be about, I don't think, like $1,500 at the ceiling. Yeah, I think it's still cheap. But $2,000, you're pushing it. No. TV manufacturer is going to have to get that price down. It's the number one thing that's preventing them, you know, from working on the 4K market. Because when people see a 4K television, you're telling me, oh, this television is great because it's 4K. But you're not really giving people an idea of, okay, what everything does this 4K do for me?
If you can handle
this is what the people are waiting to hear. And it's time that people who so-called do 4K television, they need to tell people what the fuck they're getting. Because if they don't, people are not going to pay for it. I'm telling you right now, people are not going to pay for it. Those TVs will be sitting on shelves forever. So my advice to Sony, Samsung, LG, you better pay attention to TCL, because 3 years from now, they may be the top TV brand in the world. They make their own televisions in China. And here's another word I keep hearing. This is just rumor mill. There's a people, Toshiba, and another old television manufacturer, almost out of business, found a way to cheap OLED panels that are more good than the panels we have right now. What does that mean for LG? You're about to lose your deal. I'm trying to tell you.
Line them up.
You lose this deal. Here making TVs look pretty right now. Make the TVs look the best. Got the best fluidity. Lose your pipeline on this.
Enemy recon aircraft
It's gonna be
observed.
bad for LG. To these other TV manufacturers can get that pound, producing their own pounds, on an LG pound. The end of LG's old line. Now, I'm a
Enemy bomb incoming. Get to cover.
people say, but anybody from last year will tell you, best OLED television was Sony's A1E. It was the best one. No contest. Everybody knows it. Everybody. There's no doubt. There's no machination there. Everybody knows the best OLEDs were by Sony. And this year, it's the same thing. The best OLEDs are Sony, not LG. LG's panel, of course, but they don't have the process. I think my teammate shot me that time. Oh yeah, she did. I gotta tell you something. No offense to you ladies. It's just like when y'all drive. I don't want to be nowhere around you. My sister told me, if I'm driving and I'm trying to park.
Enemy recon aircraft observed.
I think he's down. He's bleeding out.
I'm not. He's bleeding out, all right. I'm bleeding out. Yeah, so that's the thing about televisions. It's got to be, I think OLED is the future. Being honest with you. Only television comes close to being like OLED is Sony's line with their television. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of Samsung lovers. I know there's a lot of people that love those television screens. But you got to be honest. Televisions right now, that's bar none.
They're moving. Movement by the truck.
Only ones are better.
Movement on the street.
It's TCL.
Yeah.
Because TCL, yo, that's the second time that bitch done shot me. Jesus Christ. Take your finger off the trigger. God damn. So yeah,
Enemy is down.
yeah, you're gonna have to think about that. No, they're gonna have to think about that. The TV's regular LED level, but TCL has a great television that's almost as good, better than Samsung's higher price. And people gonna say, no, the QLED's better. No, it's brighter. Does not make it better. The blacks on those TVs is not as good. And say, oh, that LG, that Samsung looks amazing. Until you look at Sony's televisions, or you look at the oh, I'm sorry. Or you look at the TCLs. Then everybody changed that. I went and saw that television at the store. I'm telling you, TV's on point. TV's good. Wow, see, now when I get in the groove, I'm stop talking. Oh, I'm shut. Well.
Enemy bomb incoming. Get to cover.
So, at the end of the day, my friends, my brothers and sisters, televisions and television buyers have to start thinking about this. Manufacturers, I should say. It's time to move past LED, LCD panels, OLED is the future. And I know a lot of people like, oh, they just have to improve the technology. I didn't say today or tomorrow, but eventually the OLED will be the dominant form of televisions. My word on that. Now, here's a what if. What is the future after OLED? Have anybody thought about that? Or are we getting to the point of diminishing returns again? CRT televisions got to the peak level of what they could do with 720p. What is the peak of televisions that we have right now in a box? Still, the TV is in a box. Do we go to something like, I ain't gonna say augmented reality, but now you see in the futuristic movies with holograms sitting there, we're watching a movie and it's just projected in front of us, or we're going to move to something like projectors. You just have to have a nice clean wall. But then again, at the same time, if we go towards something like a projector type situation, we're going to run into the same problem with durability. Projectors with their light bulbs burn out. OLEDs burn out. LCDs are built to last, but they do not have the best picture. They do not have the best fluidity of movement. That is the edge that LCD has. And I think the reason why LCD has another 2 to 3 years left in the generation of this version of television is because OLED has not yet found a way to get to a point where it's more durable. Now, before anybody finds my video and try to downplay me like, nigga, you don't know what you're talking about. Listen, I'm not no TV aficionado like I said in my earlier video. What I'm saying is that TVs have to evolve.
Line them up.
And from what I can see, OLED has the best picture. And you can say whatever the fuck you want on that one. You know I'm telling the truth. Anybody see an OLED TV and try to tell me an OLED is not the best picture you ever see, use a goddamn lie. It is the best picture, bar none. A 1080p OLED looks better than a 4K television. That's the truth. That's not me being hyperbole. That ain't me talking out the side of my ass. Everybody knows it. Everybody. So, now that we don't cover televisions, what are the things
We're winning the fight.
revolving around the TV that we have to think about? I think we have to think about sound design. Once again, Sony has done something with acoustic technology. TVs with no speakers, but it has still very good sound. So what about this TV with no speakers? With acoustic sound on glass. This will revolutionize the thing for sound. Though I pretty much think when it becomes standardized, it won't be as good. Every time something becomes standardized, it's never as good as when they first put it out. People say that some of those Pioneer plasmas televisions that they brought out years ago are still some of the best televisions they've ever made. And some of LG's and Samsung's plasmas and some of Sony's plasma televisions years ago are still some of the best televisions, but it was the first run of them. When they standardized plasma, they slowly degraded the technology over time. What I mean by that is the first run of those televisions, they started making this prices, make it more. Alright, well, that time I shot a teammate. See, when you pull up on the motherfucker, sometimes all you see is a person moving. And you just pull the trigger. Your action in this field is to kill. Not to think, but... They say in the military, they teach you to hold your trigger and not pull it. It's a very hard thing to do. See, in the real world, when we don't play video games, don't know names of pop above heads. That's why uniforms are different from each other. so you know who the fuck to shoot at.
Can't keep this up.
So, yeah, that's the thing about television. Oh, God. Knew that was going to happen. The shotgun is always a nasty thing. On hardcore, whew. You know, it seems like you're getting hit with a water balloon. Because it's not water, it's your blood splatting all over the screen. And fire. Bro, wasn't trying to do that, but wow.
Enemy recon aircraft observed.
They're in the trap!
See, when you see a person times, I don't even pull up. I just pull the trigger.
Throwing grease grenade.
The reason why you don't pull up sometimes is it's hardcore. You spray and pray. Ooh. Ooh, that was terrible.
Pilot in your area. Wait for a strafing run.
What the fuck? He just spawned? Jesus.
Strafing run inbound.
Nigga fucking spawned.
Recon aloft. Advise to stop. Enemy care package observed. Stop for resupply.
That nigga spawned. I kid you not, that nigga was not right there.
Enemy bomb incoming. Get to cover.
That nigga spawned.
Perfect shot. Recon airborne.
Wow. Ah.
Throwing sticky grenade. Down.
Response time on the TV is another thing for gamers, you know.
Fire and maneuver. Enemy down. Enemy recon aircraft observed.
We'll have to start thinking about that as gamers as well. You know, NVIDIA's coming out with their television 4 games, so they say.
Prepare to counterattack.
It's another interesting thing that is starting to pop up. Another thing that I think a lot of TV manufacturers need to start to think about. What if people that make monitors start making big screen TV-like devices? But they won't call it TVs, they probably call it a advanced viewing device. And it, you're gonna to it and watch TV, but it, you know, monitors are clear televisions. That is a problem for TV. Okay. Every in this world is a game that people want to get into. Other people want to get into the video game thing. Google, Amazon, different companies want to do video games now. Everybody's putting their hand in a lot of different things. They put their hand. I think for those that are in the TV business need to open their eyes. Apple wants a television. I think that there is troubling if I was anybody else, because Apple makes really good products and they're popular on a global basis. People don't see Apple as an American company as they see Microsoft as. Apple's big in China. Apple's big in Japan. Apple's big in Africa. Apple is big in the Middle East. Apple is big in South America, Central America, North America. It's big everywhere. I just said areas of the world. I didn't try to skip anybody. You know how people feel like, oh damn, you missed my country. Yeah, but it's big. So good night, people. I had to finish up this little quick thing on TVs and TV futures. Broadcast.